Speaking of schools, population in public where they are Alex symbol wearing an artificial male phallus.
I'd like to call John Peel. John, you now have a popular radio program on the BBC, but you began by working for Radio London. It was one of the ship radio stations, wasn't it?
Yes.
Radio London, a ship.
It was one of the pirate radio stations.
I see.
John, could you turn to the article on page 22, Brown Shoes Don't Make It? The paragraph, then came 1967, and the great flower power summer. Suddenly, every other kid was belled and caftaned and chanting, "All you need is love." I thought we'd really won. We'd enchanted and infiltrated them and genuinely convinced them that love was where it was at and not battling. I was wondering if you could tell us what you think the author is trying to say.
Well, obviously 1967 was a period of great optimism for him, and for me, and for you too, I assume. I mean, I really thought there was going to be a lot of social change. People were beginning to think about one another rather than just acquiring property. This turned out not to be the case, unfortunately.
Mr. Peel, how did you come to be here today?
On my bicycle.
No, I was asking about your motivation for being here.
Oh, well, I came about Oz, and I was asked to give evidence about its significance to popular music.
Well, then let's look at this article by Master Charles Shaw Murray, which refers to straightforward fuck music. Now, is there a type of music, what one might call mood music, which assists young people to get to know one another sexually?
You mean the type advocated by magazines like Playboy? The sort of silver strings that you're supposed to play when you take people up to see the etchings, or whatever other cliché is supposed to assist in the business of seduction. Well, I must say, I've never tried using that type of music myself.
Sexuality was one of the elements introduced into music on the pop scene by Mr. Elvis Presley during the rock and roll era, wasn't it?
Well, I'm sure sex has always been important in music, sort of right back to the earliest dance days, because a lot of early music was for things like fertility ceremonies. I'm sure if you were to do a scholarly study of it, which I wouldn't be capable of, I think you'd find that there was a sexual element in music sort of right back to the early days.
Yes, but you've not yet heard of a criticism, have you, of Mozart or Beethoven, which deals with somebody having an orgasm over it?
Well, I must admit I've never read sexual climaxes into the music of Mozart or Beethoven. But I mean, if I wrote music, I'd be flattered to think that people were making love to that music.
Yes. I see you use the expression making love.
Yes.
So we take it that you would find it in bad taste to use the phrase fuck rather than making love. Which would you prefer?
Well, the expressions are not different. I mean, you can mean either one in the context. I mean, I just felt because I was in court I should say making love, but everybody else seems to be saying fuck, so I shall say fuck as well.
Now, I was just wondering why you yourself chose the phrase making love, whereas the critic chose fucking. You say there's really no difference.
If I'd been anywhere other than in court, I would have said fucking.
I see. And on the air?
No, not on the air, because there would have been a number of complaints.
I wonder if you could just help us about yourself. You have no children of your own.
No.
You married?
Yes.
Have you had venereal disease?
Yes.
Let me ask you about this, not because I'm wishing to be personal, but because it's a matter that you broadcast about.
Could I explain why?
Am I right in suggesting that you thought it right to announce over the air, so that anybody listening in could hear it, that you unhappily had contracted venereal disease?
Yes, and I would do the same thing again today. I mean, I had it, and I wish that I didn't, but the BBC had prepared a programme for broadcasting on Radio 4 about venereal disease, and about the fact that some people are not prepared to admit that they have it, and I was asked to participate. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to learn that quite a few people in the courtroom have had venereal disease. Whether they'd be prepared to admit it or not, I don't know.
Oh, just forgive me for a moment. It is so terribly easy to say a thing like that, but what does it mean?
Well, according to the doctors who did the programme, A great number of people in all walks of society suffer from venereal disease, and the main problem they have in trying to combat the disease is that people are not prepared to admit that they've got it, or at least, I mean, they're not prepared to discuss it openly.
When you commented that you dare say a number of people in this courtroom had it and not mentioned it, which part of the courtroom had you in mind?
Well, I should say all parts of the courtroom.
You were serious?
Yes, it is a very common disease.
Let's go on to another topic, Mr. Leary.
Yes, I wonder if I could ask a few more questions.
No, well, I don't think so. A very great accusation about the people in this court has been made. I see no point in pursuing it. If the witness wishes to persist in it, he's perfectly entitled to do so, I suppose.
Well, I didn't bring it up in the first place.
Felix...
asked me to play that. They also wanted to know whether I thought that Nigel Planer had done me justice in the doc on the programme on television last weekend, the dramatisation, if you like, of the Oz trial. I thought it was rather good. He got the accent wrong, actually, but, I mean, that's not particularly important, but rather embarrassingly, he got all of my sort of facial tics and mannerisms and unfortunate ducking and weaving off to a T, and my family were much impressed with it anyway, so it's just like your dad. Next, well, a new artist to me, and I imagine